Treat your body like a temple, not a woodshed. A temple. Here's why. The body and the mind work together. The body and the physical and the health is a support system for the mental that can dream, that can think, that can ponder, that can wonder, that can design, that can believe, that can have the spirit and all that's possible in terms of emotional content. But now, since the mind and the body work together, you got to take care of the body as a support system. It says God looks on the inside, people look on the outside. So you got to take care of both. The inside for God and the outside for people. What's the old phrase? You never have a second chance to make a first impression. So the outside appearance is also valuable as well as inside vigor and vitality. Some people don't do well because they don't feel well. Right? One of the first things to go to work on with intensive effort, and that's your own good health. Because a lot of things come from that. You know, the future possibilities could be greatly diminished by being lazy in producing maximum health. It's incredible. And you can't do that worldwide kind of high-intensity activity without being incredibly healthy. So the idea of being rich and the idea of covering the world and the idea of lecturing around the world, those are high and lofty ideals, but unless you have the health, I'm telling you, it can't be done. So why not start with the health and see if your own vitality would inspire you to more imagination? Because now when you imagine, you can pull it off. If you'll take care of that as a support system, you can't believe what else is possible. You can't believe what the mind can think of. You can't believe your imagination and your faith and your ability to say, hey, I'll go to work and produce the muscle to do the deal. Why? I'm healthy. I'm vigorous. I'm vital. I'm not out of breath. But sometimes, you know, when all these ideas and stuff comes and, you know, you're a little bit too weak to even attempt, you say, oh, I'm not sure I can do that. The doubts sometimes are more physical than they are mental. You haven't got the vitality to believe it's possible. But if you've got the vitality and the strength and you've got the health to do it, I'm telling you, ideas seem to love to be invested in healthy people that have got the ability and the ambition to pull it off. They got the health to do it. They got the strength to do it. So have a talk with yourself and say, this is the last time I'm going to be out of breath. This is the last time I will lack the vitality to pull off my dreams. Because sure, the dream factory will shut down if you haven't got the vitality and the energy and the health to pull it off. Now also part of the physical is the outside as well as the inside. But physical, outside, inside. Here's what's good advice. Make sure the outside is an excellent reflection of the inside. Take care of both. So first in personal development on these three parts is physical. Here's the second, spiritual. I am a believer that humans are a special creation. I don't ask other people to adopt my belief, but I simply am a believer that humans are unique among all life forms. These are three excellent words: study, practice, teach. Don't neglect your studies on your own spirituality, whatever its origin, whatever your beliefs. Then practice, put it into practice so that, number one, you become a good role model, first for your children. Then teach, pass it on. You got to pass it on to the next generation and the next generation. What if the next generation gets a little weaker and the next generation gets a little weaker? Now the family foundation is starting to be weakened, which now weakens the nation because the nation is built up of strong family foundations. Now here's the third part. First is physical, second is spiritual, third is mental. Some key phrases on the mental part. First, the mind must be nourished. It's got to have good food. The reason for coming to a 2-day seminar is just food for thought. Bread for the head, we call it. Make sure that you're your own best filter of what goes into your mental factory and spins out the fabric of your life and future. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Spend time. Be a selective listener. But you got to have a good diet, a good mental diet. Now here's what's important. A proper menu for the mind to make sure that it's got a wide range of nourishment. Because the mind needs the full education. Now, we also need mental exercise. We talked about debate earlier. That's good mental exercise. Is it or isn't it? Here's what's important: to debate with yourself, to look at both sides of the issue. You must be a student of tragedy as well as triumph. You must be a student of ill as well as good. Learning to debate with yourself what's good, what's bad, what's good for you, what isn't good for you. Keep your mind vigorous. Study evil as well as good. You need a good library. And in this library, you need all kinds of diversity. You need a book on Gandhi and you need a book on Hitler. Gandhi to show you how high and lofty someone's ambitions that are noble can go, and the other one to show you how despicable and low someone can sink in terms of pure evil embodied in a human. Don't be afraid of the debate. Don't be afraid of the health debate. Don't be afraid of the religious debate, the spiritual debate. Don't be afraid for something you believe in to be challenged, because that's where the vigor and the flourishing of something is. It survives the debate. If it survives the debate, it's a pretty good idea. Somebody stands up and says, well, I've got 3 questions about this great idea. And the one who proposed the idea says, wow, I never thought about those 3 questions. It's a good thing we didn't try this on the people. Let's vigorously discuss, right? Not mean-spirited, but to try to find what is the best way, right? Is it or isn't it a good idea? Let's debate, let's refine until we come up with something of value. Every time they call a meeting, make sure you're there every time they call a meeting. And whatever industry you're in, whatever company you're in, when they call a meeting, make sure you're there. When they call a little training class, make sure you're there. Here's why. Some of them are going to be life-changing. For the people that were there, somebody that you met, something that you heard, and that one was just perfect. The atmosphere was right, the crowd was right, and everything was right, and you'll never be the same again. And you don't know which one that's going to be. That's why you've got to pursue. Go often, have a good plan for the search of knowledge and ideas that can inspire to the best of your potential. So now we've got the physical, we've got the spiritual, we've got the mental parts of personal development. Here's what's a little more tricky: inspiration. Who knows why one's inspired and one is not inspired? Here's what I call it. It's a good thing to remember for the rest of your life. It's called the mysteries of the mind. And you'll be confronted with that forever, the mysteries. Here's what we have to do with most mysteries: leave them mysteries. And learn to be curious instead of dismayed. See if it'll work for you. And then here's what's next: refine it all as you go. First you learn, then you try, then you refine, then you evaluate, then you pass it on. We don't study philosophy just for philosophy, or attitude just for attitude, or discipline just for discipline. These things by themselves serve no purpose. But these 3 items invested in labor, in the work, produces results. Now we measure our results to see how our disciplines are working, how our attitude is working, and how our philosophy is working. And if the results aren't to your liking, there's only 3 places to check: discipline, attitude, philosophy, personal philosophy. The education of the dangers of life as well as the possibilities of life. When I teach philosophy, the 5 major pieces to the life puzzle, here's what we teach in philosophy. Life consists of really 2 major things. One is avoiding the dangers and taking advantage of the opportunities. That's what life is all about: avoiding the dangers and taking advantage of the opportunities. Now, by education, you've got to be able to see both, where somebody points out to you, these are the dangers, these are the possibilities. And if you keep refining your ability to see the dangers, to avoid as many as possible, and to see as many opportunities as possible, and to maximize those as you go and refine and go produce and refine, now that starts to develop the foundation for what we call a good life, a productive life, a fulfilled life. And we need this mental input. 2 days is a little staggering in terms of sort of a crash program. And you couldn't do it every week, a couple of days every week. That would be too much. But a couple of days to just really concentrate for a while. Hopefully I send you away from here tomorrow a little mind-weary, right? Of taking all these notes and trying to get it all and trying to think about it. Becomes educated. It can be uniquely served so that everyone benefits and no one loses. How could it be possible to work in your own self-interest and still no one else lose. What does it take to be great? What is the key to greatness? And that's a good question for everybody to make a note of. What is the key to greatness? The full development of our potential, because that's really two parts to life, is the full development of our potential and the wise use of all of our resources. You can't describe life, human life, any better than that. The full development of all of our potential and the wise use of all of our resources. How can we be great? Or should we even seek for greatness? Now, the answer was given how to be great, so it must have been okay. And let me break it down for you. The key to greatness, how to act in your own self-interest, but still not diminish the interest of anyone else. And it's a very simple answer. Now, greatness could be defined in many ways. Great wealth, great power, great influence, great self-esteem, great self-respect. There's many kinds of greatness, but how could we achieve all of that greatness in some measure or ongoing measure? How could we achieve that? Here was the simple answer. It said this: find a way to serve the many. Find a way to serve the many. It is the greatest key to self-interest. Now, wishing to be great would seem as a statement of your own self-interest, which is true. But we're talking now about enlightened self-interest. Find a way to serve. Now we come to the next one. If you wish to be ruler over many, nothing wrong with that, to be ruler over many. Here's what it says: be faithful when the amounts are small. To rule over many, be faithful when you have just a few. Someone says, well, if I had a big organization, I'd really take good care of it, but I've only got 3 or 4, I don't know where they are. See, that's not the key. The key is to really know where the 3 or 4 are. Take exceptionally good care of the 3 or 4. Because if you become faithful, if you become disciplined in giving your best attention and the best you've got to the few, now you begin to qualify now to have the many to preside over. The many will come if you pass the test of the few. It's better to give than to receive. Now, see, at first, that doesn't seem right. At first, but here's what you can get at first: faked out until you become educated. At first, it seems like it's better to receive than it is to give. And you say, no, you must be educated to understand. It's better to give than it is to receive. Now, here's why. Giving starts the receiving process. Wouldn't that be acting in your own self-interest, is to do something that started the receiving process? And the answer is yes. Now I understand. Now I can act in my own self-interest in an enlightened way instead of a destructive way. Life responds to deserve, not to need. Life was not designed to give us what we need. Life was designed to give us what we deserve. Now, not in a moral sense now. This is just in a basic sense. There are certain moral challenges as well, spiritual and moral. But here's what the great law says. It does not say, if you need, you will reap. That's not what it says. If you move toward education, education starts to seek you out. This is one of the unique positive mysteries. Whatever you move toward, moves toward you. If you move toward progress, progress seems to want to now embrace you, move toward you. All life seems to wish to reward its benefactor. If you become the benefactor, you'll receive these incredible rewards. If you're the benefactor to the garden, the flowers seem to bloom and say, look at me, look how bright and beautiful I am because you took care of me. I wish to reward you by being beautiful, lovely, spectacular.
And if one person touches another person's life with something they've learned, something they've felt, something they've come across, an experience they've had, places they've been, things they've seen, people they've met, a chance for one person to touch someone else's life has an extraordinary opportunity to produce what I call a miracle. A miracle being something we don't quite understand how it works. All we know is it works. And the miracle of new life, the miracle of a company like Herbalife, the miracle of opportunity that spreads beyond just the community where it got started, that all happens when one person meets another person. and shares part of their experience, shares part of their knowledge, passes along something from the head, yes, but mostly from the heart. No telling how many people are going to be there multiplied by our effort to come and touch you and your effort now to reach out and touch someone else. That is the Herbalife story. Having something of value and touching someone else's life, whether it's the product or the opportunity for personal development. Why Herbalife has been so successful. And I've got 4 major reasons. Here's the first one: leadership. Nothing can happen of much value unless someone steps out front and leads the way. Someone who steps out front and says, I will take on the early problems, do my best to solve them, gain the necessary skills, necessary experience to lead the way. When we look around and say, why has Herbalife become so incredibly successful, we've got to start, number 1, with leadership. But I watched Mark as he mastered these skills one by one by one. When the challenge came up to learn something else, he learned it. When the challenge came along to extend his skills, he extended himself and learned it. And that's the challenge that all of you have, including myself today, is to keep learning the leadership skills necessary to make this company grow. And if I was to give you some advice, this would be it. Master the skill. Number 2, the skill of giving someone an invitation to come and hear the story. Number 3, the skill of making a valid presentation to the people who consent to come and hear the Herbalife story. The presentation, talking about the product, talking about the marketing, talking about the effect that Herbalife can have on your life, your future, your health. Making a valid presentation. Then learn the skill of how to organize all of that. Once you've got more than one person, now it's got to be organized. When you get 4 or 5, the challenge is really on now to keep it going. When you've got 15 or 20, the challenge gets even bigger. But what you've got to do now is master the skills as they come along, as the challenge comes along, how to organize it. Next, learn the skill of promotion. Nobody better at mastering this skill than Mark Hughes leading the way. How to promote the next event, how to promote some special contest. Then here's the ultimate in skills necessary to, I think, build Herbalife to the degree you want to build, and that is to learn the skill of inspiring. How to inspire other people. To start right where they are and to seek some better place. To look a little higher than where they are and wish that they could possibly get there. And then have a vehicle like Herbalife to show them how to do it, how to take the early steps, how to start growing and keep growing. Not only how to be inspired, but how to inspire other people. You're going to lead the way for your organization. You're going to lead the way for your family. I want the very best. I will not settle for less, whatever it costs. Here's number 3, reason why Herbalife has been so successful, and that's the marketing system. The marketing system that Mark chose has a very significant reason why we market the products the way we do. And here's the simplified version of the marketing system: person to person. There's nothing more powerful than that. To make your ultimate goal not to sell Herbalife products, but to get people to use Herbalife products. Because here's the most powerful tool in building your business, and that is the testimonial. People using the product and getting value from it. People using the product and having their health improve. People using the product and feeling secure and knowing that they've got a complete nutritional support system for the challenges of modern day living and for the future. And I don't know how far you want to go with the Herbalife opportunity. I don't know what your dreams and desires are here today. If I had a chance to meet you personally and had a chance to spend some time with you, I could probably find out what some of your dreams are, what some of your ambitions are, what you would like to do with your life. That if you had a certain amount of money, if you had certain opportunity, if you developed certain skills, here's what I would like to do with the rest of my life. Here's all I can say about that. Herbalife gives you the ways and the means and the tools to go as far as you want to go. If you want to change, you can change. If you want to grow, you can grow. If you want to become powerful, you can become powerful. If you want to be a leader, you can become a leader. If you wish to become wealthy, you can become wealthy. Whatever dreams that you've set aside maybe in the past because you didn't have the opportunity, now that Herbalife has come your way, get those dreams off the shelf, go to work in Herbalife, and we will help you make those dreams come true. Somebody willing to use their voice. Somebody willing to use their hands. Somebody willing to use their heart and soul to take an extraordinary story to the marketplace. The miracle workers are the Herbalife distributors. The marketing system is just a few numbers on a page, and it would have no meaning unless somebody puts some heart with it and some soul. Somebody puts a mind to it. Somebody puts ambition to it and starts taking it to the marketplace step by step, person by person, meeting by meeting. So the miracle workers in Herbalife, that's the distributors. The products are fabulous, yes. The marketing system is unique, yes. That's why Herbalife has been so successful. 4 major reasons: leadership, products, marketing, and the heartbeat of the Herbalife distributor willing to go out day after day and tell the story. Now I'd like to talk about your part of making Herbalife come true for you, making the opportunity come true for you. The major key to your better future is you. The miracle of your future has to start with you. First, it has to start with you deciding what do you want out of your life. Your willingness to look for opportunity. And when you find it, your willingness to do something about it. Because the miracle of your future does not lie outside of you. The miracle of your future lies within you. If you'll change from a person who won't try to a person who will try, your life will change. If you'll change from a person who let things slide to a person who takes care of the situation, your life will change. If you change your attitude about money, about the marketplace, about the government, about circumstances, if you'll change all of that, your life can change. If you'll change your attitude, change your thinking, change your willingness to work, change from drifting to doing the job, if you'll start making these changes, your income will change, your life will change, your future will change. The same wind blows on us all, the wind of circumstance as well as the wind of opportunity. But here's how you take advantage of it. Look inside yourself. That if you'll take an opportunity like Herbalife, and if you'll start making those personal changes of discipline, personal changes of time management, personal changes of willingness to learn the skills, personal changes of personality improvement, attitude, all of the rest, with this opportunity, you cannot miss having an extraordinary life and an extraordinary future. So I want you to take that journey. Becoming better than you are, more than you are, stronger than you are, wiser than you are, more capable than you are at this very moment. Key phrase: success is something you attract by the person you become. Success is not something you pursue. It's not something you chase, not something you go after. What you go after and chase usually eludes you like the butterfly you can't quite catch. Develop success. And success starts inside. Success starts inside your head. Success starts inside your heart. Success starts inside yourself. When you decide you're going to make the necessary changes and do the necessary growing in personal development. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Yes, the night comes, but day follows night. Yes, difficulty comes, but opportunity follows difficulty. Expansion follows recession. Joy has a good chance of following sadness. It's the rhythm of life. You'll be wiser because you've met each other. And that wisdom is going to help you when a tough time comes. no greater gift than the gift of attention. Giving someone not just your time, but your attention. Giving someone your information. Giving someone your inspiration. Don't leave it to be discarded by time. Give it your life. Give it your heart. Give it your soul. Put everything you've got into everything you do. So here's what you must do. Nourish your values like a mother and fight your enemies like a father. Opportunity has come. There's a fresh breeze of opportunity and freedom blowing around the world. And wherever it goes, Herbalife will follow. If you want to see the view from the top, you have to climb. You have to climb steady. You have to climb true. You have to climb consistently. You cannot drift. You cannot say, ho-hum, oh, maybe it'll work out. I've got my fingers crossed. That is not a good policy. It is not a good philosophy. If you want values, you've got to work for them. If you want to see the view from the top, you've got to steadily climb. So I'm asking you to fight indifference. Don't let it be part of you. Resist it with all of your ability. Indecision is the thief of opportunity. You've got to decide. Yes, some decisions take longer than others, but don't take any longer than you need to make a decision. Give it a try. Sometimes you never know till you give it a try. Don't wait and eat up the time and let indecision be the thief of opportunity to do something well, do something right, touch someone else's life. Here's the next one. Doubt. We all have a certain amount of doubt. Nobody can be 100% certain. But here's what you must learn to do. Doubt your doubts and believe your beliefs. Learn to doubt your doubts and believe your beliefs. It's easy to doubt the future with uncertainty. It's easy to doubt the past will serve you. Drive your doubts into a small corner. Don't let them conquer you. Believe that things are possible. And here's the most important one. Believe in yourself. So do your job well. Do not doubt your own ability. Don't doubt your ability to change. Don't doubt your ability to grow. Don't doubt your ability to take command. Don't doubt your ability to learn all the skills. Whatever you want, I'm telling you it's all possible. Make this note. None of us lack the capacity. We have far more capacity than we have time to take advantage of. Get busy. You've got more brain power than you've used so far. You've got more potential than you've used so far. You've got more strength than you've possibly used so far. No telling how many languages you can learn. No telling how far you can go. No telling how strong you can get until you get busy working on yourself and see if you can't tap all of your full potential. That's why I love the Herbalife opportunity, to challenge you to keep growing. Go with me and Herbalife, and I promise you, you'll have an opportunity to extend your skills and become more than you thought you could ever become. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here, extending Mark's reach with the Herbalife opportunity literally around the world. I invite you to take the journey of personal development. Don't sell yourself short. And you can be whatever you want to be thanks to Herbalife. I want you to believe it. Let worry alarm you, but don't let it conquer you. But see if you can't conquer worry with gathering strength from what's going on here today. The Herbalife opportunity. Here's the next one. Over caution. Being too timid to try. Too cautious to try. But that's what life is all about. You gotta take a chance. You don't have to be foolish. But you have to plant in the spring to have a harvest in the fall. Someone says, what if it doesn't work? I've got a better phrase for you. What if it does? Somebody says, what if I go broke? That's one option. Here's the next one. What if you get rich? If you meet someone, take a chance and tell them the story. If you meet someone, work up your courage and give them an invitation. You got to take a chance to give you our life, to give you our knowledge, to give you our heart and soul. Here's what I'm asking you to do. Take advantage of it. Let us nourish you the best we can, give you the best we've got, because we have come here sincerely, wishing to be of value to all of you, so that the lessons you learn here and the spirit you pick up here will serve you well, not only in the days to come, but the rest of your Herbalife life. There's an interesting phrase from an ancient prophet, and it says, "In due season, your harvest will come." Harvest does not come to those who did not plant all those months ago called the spring. Harvest does not come to those that hope. Harvest does not come to those that wish. Harvest does not come to those who have their fingers crossed. Harvest only comes to those for which it is due. Harvest only comes to those that have planted, that did the job. You've got to have vision for a child in looking into the future when the child has no vision of his own. Here's the key phrase in Herbalife: let your distributors borrow your eyes to see into the future, things they cannot at first see. Let them borrow your vision that you can start all those years ago and put yourself through the paces, make the sacrifices, and see the people, and the harvest finally comes. Not only the harvest of money, but the harvest of good health, the harvest of heart and soul, the harvest of taking a lot of good people with you as you make the Herbalife journey. Your harvest will come. And you're going to have the same question: why work this hard? Why get up this early? Why stay up this late? Why go that far? Why make these kind of sacrifices? Why talk to that many people? Why try to see how much you can earn, how far you can go? Why try to see how much you can accomplish, how many skills you're going to be challenged by? Why do all this? Good question. But now jot down the second question. It's the best answer I know of to the first one, and that's why not? Why not see how much you can earn? Why not see how many people you can reach? Why not see how many projects you can support? Why not set a goal to see how many people you can help? Why not you becoming a leader of leaders? Why not you mastering the skills and having extraordinary self-confidence, self-esteem? Why not you? And here's my last question. Why not now? I cannot take all of you home with me because my home is not big enough. But I can take all of your spirit with me because my heart is big enough. Otherwise, the wisdom is wasted. Otherwise, the emotion soon passes. Unless you put it into a disciplined activity and capture it. Disciplines is called how to capture the emotion and how to capture the wisdom and translate it into equity. Disciplines. Now, here's what's important about disciplines. All disciplines affect each other. In fact, here's a good philosophical phrase. Everything affects everything else. Nothing stands alone. If you don't take the walk around the block, you probably won't do the apple a day. If you don't do the apple a day, you probably won't start building your library. If you don't build your library, you probably won't keep a journal, and you won't take pictures, and you won't do this, you won't do wise things with your money, won't do wise things with your time, won't do wise things with your possibilities and relationships, and the first thing you know, 6 years of that accumulated, and we say you have messed up. So the whole key to reversing that process now is to start picking up these disciplines. Now here's the positive side. Every new discipline affects the rest of your disciplines. Every new one affects the rest. You start walking around the block, it'll inspire you to get an apple. Get an apple, it'll inspire you to get a book. Get a book, it'll inspire you to get a journal. Get a journal, it'll inspire you to grow, develop some skills. All disciplines affect each other. Every lack affects the rest. Every new affects the rest. The key is to diminish the lack and set up the new. And you've started a whole new life process. One more, and then one more, and then another one, and then another one, and then some more. And the first thing you know, you're starting to weave the tapestry of a disciplined life into which you can pour more wisdom and more attitude and more strong feeling, more faith and more courage. Now you've got something, a vessel in which to put it. And now the equities start to flow. And the early return, I'm telling you, if you'll start this process, the early return will have you so excited. You'll commit yourself to this strategy for the rest of your life. You'll never go back to the old ways. Join a new crowd. Join a new group. The disciplines to do it. Take action. It's in story form. That's why I use it for teenagers, teaching them how to be rich by 40, 35, if you're extra bright, much sooner, if you find a unique opportunity. But if it's easy to find and easy to buy, and if it's easy to read,
Why wouldn't everybody go get it? We don't know. What do you know? You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. Here's how profound it is. Some do and some don't. Now here's the numbers. About 10% do. 90% don't or won't. We don't know the mystery of that. And I'm telling you, 10 years from now, those numbers will still be the same. 10% will, 90% won't. The numbers don't change. Only the faces change. Wisdom of the world available. Transform your life spiritually, socially, personally, economically, and every other way. Teach you how to be rich and powerful and sophisticated and healthy, influential. How many people have a library card? Answer, 3%. 97% couldn't be bothered. Guy specializes in happy hour, but he doesn't have a card. And now readily and quickly blames the government and blames his company and blames policy and blames the pay scale. When if he only knew, if he joined the 3%, here's my advice to you today. Walk away from the 97%. Don't talk like they talk. Don't act like they act. Don't go where they go. Don't specialize in what they specialize in. Throw away the blame lists they cling to. Let's teach our kids the simple ways to transform their health, number 1. Their economics, number 2. Their ability to communicate, number 3. Their life and treasure and lifestyle, number 4. Spirituality, number 5. And the list goes on and on. Let's not leave out any of the least of disciplines that encourage us to do the next one, to do the next one, to do the next one. First thing you know, this whole scenario for you is spinning up instead of out of control on the negative side. This is all you got to do. It's as simple as this. It's as simple as a start, committing yourself to life change. And once you start down this road, I promise you, you'll join the 10% and the 3%. Listen to a dynamic sermon, read a book, listen to some cassettes. Take seriously the next conversation of a friend who wants to level with you and do something about it. And you can walk away from the 97%, not live there anymore. Here's the clue. Make rest a necessity, not an objective. The objective of life is not to rest. The objective of life is to act. Think of more disciplines. Think of more ways and means in which to use your own wisdom and your own philosophy and use your own attitude, your own faith, your own courage, your own commitment, your own desires, your own excitement. Invest it, invest it, invest it, invest it in discipline so that it's not wasted. The smallest of discipline. Thereby transform your life. Join the 5%, join the 10%, join the 3%.
None has as much potential power for doing good as the ability to dream. Dreams are a projection of the kind of life we want to lead. Dreams can drive you. Dreams can make you skip over obstacles. When we allow our dreams to pull us, they unleash a creative force that can overpower everything in our way. To unleash this power, though, your dreams must be well defined. A fuzzy future has little pull power. Well-defined dreams are not fuzzy. Wishes are fuzzy. To really achieve your dreams, to really have your future plans pull you, your dreams must be vivid. Enjoy and take pride in your little accomplishments. It means enjoying who you are becoming in pursuit of your eager desire.
Chẳng được quên khi cơn mưa đêm lại về. Em đã quên lời thề và ta như đông chìm sâu. Không còn mới em anh nhận màu. Em chỉ cần mơ đâu em bay. Chỉ còn là những cơn mưa vô giá. Cho bên mơ em không mơ anh. Anh một đêm mơ. Chỉ cần bên em không được cần nhớ. Và chỉ có em không muốn nhớ. Và người ta bên nhau như ngã tớ. Muốn nhớ về say em chỉ có mấy em ở đây. Và anh như muốn chết đi nhưng không muốn em mơ mơ mày. Tình yêu làm cho ta đau đầu. Không em như mà mơ mộng. Anh như đeo mong cầu. Và mưa bên em u sầu. Chào cả bạn bè em mơ. Chỉ có bên em nhưng là khó mơ. Em ở đâu ra em muốn bên ai. Anh không mong gì hơn. Chỉ mong em sẽ ở đây ôm anh thật gần. Anh chỉ mong đôi ta được có nhau. Mà đừng em đâu anh có em. Một đôi bên anh có em. Ta sẽ trao nhau môi hôn thật sâu. ôm anh cứ mưa mà ngâu và em chỉ lần đâu anh không muốn em ở đâu đâu một cơn lát thứ anh không mơ cầu mà gặp đôi anh mà bên giờ anh chỉ là my friend giờ em quên đi bao lời hứa quên đi cả những ngày xưa giờ anh chỉ là một đứa giờ em cứ một chưa giờ mà đêm đêm ở đêm anh nhìn một đôi mà kem không như là ba trên thêm cho em nhiều hơn như là kem chỉ cần là mưa thôi em chỉ cần là mưa thôi còn ai sẽ là nắng rồi.
tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.